that not putting the best subscribe button as well. Let's get to this. Let's start with this. Ryan Clark was let go by ESPN. And Ryan Clark, if you don't know who Ryan Clark is, Ryan Clark used to play for the Washington football team, Washington Commanders, Washington Redskins, whatever you like to say. Also, Ryan Clark also played for the Steelers. He's on the Bitter Podcast, which is a very popular podcast in the industry. He's on there with Channing Crowder. He's on there with Fred Taylor. And they do, it's almost like an intersection between sports culture and all those other things. But Ryan Clark's daytime was on Get Up, which is a show on ESPN. He was also an analyst for ESPN. Really good analyst. I think he's an Emmy Award winner. He's one of the guys that is all over the place in football, and when football season happens, and he's just a tremendous analyst. He was let go or fired mid-shift, like fired mid-shift. He was on the air when he got fired, and it caused a storm, right? And it's the first time that he's been back to tell the story. I wanted to acclimate you guys to that story and then get into what we want to talk about today. Let's see.
I'm upset with myself from this perspective. There were signs, but I truly thought for the first time in my life, I worked so hard at something. I was so good at something. Everybody acknowledged that I was, that they couldn't fire me, that they wouldn't fire me, that a company give it up. So to me, the signs were always there. And I called, man. I called executives, I called decision makers, I called bosses. Is my schedule changing? What's it look like? And it was never a definitive answer. But I think it was never a definitive answer because this was always the plan.
What's it based off of?
Well, to address the hate out there, what makes me a little bit sad about myself is I didn't adjust who I was to try to keep my job. I didn't have meetings with people and say, okay, what makes me sad is even in trying to adjust to be at least more of what certain people wanted, they still fired me. And so, figure out what you can do. Did anybody give you this? Yeah, I got some heads up. I mean, somewhere ago, Stephen A. Savage took me to lunch in Los Angeles. He told me, he said, there's a particular executive that doesn't like you. Now, let me be honest. I've been hearing this for years. Right? It had gotten to me so many times. And so having that dinner or that lunch with Stephen A. was just confirmation of me. He's like, you need to go set a meeting. But so many times
You talking about 4 Central on Monday. What happened on Monday? Because you got 5-minute shifts.
Gary, how are you?
Hey, listen, man. So first and foremost, what we gotta get to is the fact that this right here should be a lesson to all of us. It's one of the reasons why I always say independent media needs to be a forefront and on the focal forefront of everything that you do. Whether you are a person that's in the game or outside of the game. Because this is a typical thing that you see. The thing that hurt a little bit as well is because I understand what it goes through. I understand. See, when you are only one of few in the industry, right, that's on the other side, you have to realize that you are a representation of an entire culture, of an entire people, and you represent the feelings
you know what? That's a Band-Aid.
People who feel that they don't have a voice. You are the representation of this is the person who made it, but you are also a representation. And you also are dealing with people who are well aware that you are the only one. They are well aware that you can be singled out. And they are things that you speak about and talk about are situations in which that can and will be used against you, and if somebody does not know. And one of the things that Ryan Clark did, when he said right there, which was so different for me, he said, I even tried to play nice. I really tried to reach out to people. I even changed some of the stuff that I talked about because I understood that I was going to try, and they still fired you. This is a case in point where ownership is not a question or a suggestion. It is an necessity. Here's the way I come about it. Here's the way I come out about it. Anything that I do on the outside, because I have the advantage of I came from the position, and the best thing it could have ever did to me was not give me an opportunity to be heard more. And the only way I could get my emotions, my feelings, the things that I thought were important out was to create my own platform, build it from the ground up, and do the painstaking work of being out here consistently reaching out to people. And sometimes it takes years, sometimes it can take months. But the reality of the situation, you must have it. Because you never know. When you wake up tomorrow, it can all be done. And that's one of the main things that I'm going to talk about with people that are in the mainstream media. And I'm not coming at them like I'm a big bro. As a matter of fact, these people make way more money than me. These people make hand over fist money in these contracts. But you always got to remember, you got to treat that as your side. And what I mean by that, not put in less work or not take it seriously. What you have to do is you have to say, okay, well, I'm doing this over here right now. If they need to come over here and get my opinion, always understand that if they're paying you for your opinion, they can let you go for your opinion. You ain't catch that. If this is an opinion-based game, I know it might be 600, 700 people. I know you didn't want to wake up to this. But this goes for everybody outside with a job. Today is a new day. Today is a new day, not only in sports, but it's a new day everywhere. If you devote 8 to 10 hours of your time, energy, effort, putting into building somebody else's business, somebody else's restaurant, somebody else's accounting firm, somebody else's car wash, car detailing, you are putting in 8 to 10 hours. You're sacrificing your family time. You're sacrificing your peace. You're sacrificing everything to build something with somebody else. Guess what, bro? Guess what? You better be putting in 3 to 4 hours outside of that building something that you got.
Your own self.
I don't care if it's a hobby that you think you can make you some side money with. I don't care if it's care. I don't care if you're doing nails. I don't care if you're detailing cars. I don't care if you're coming up with a clothing line. I don't care if you're coming up with a consulting business. You better do it. It's imperative. And I think a lot of people in the industry that have played football don't understand. You get accustomed to it. You get used to it. You get used to the income. You get used to, hey, I don't have to wake up and come do what I'm great at. And he said, listen, I thought it was something I knew I was great at. I knew it. I knew it. Devin and Duke, this is why I keep telling folks, quit asking G. Bush to crash out on UCSS. This is not the platform. Let him give his opinion and do his job. This is so important to me because everything, see, when I come out on here and tell you, the Lord has given me certain things. And as long as I listen to the Lord and he tells me the situation, he said, you know what, I want you to say it. If he didn't already say it, if I want you to say it, as long as you know what I'm telling you, you protect it, you do it, we'll take care of it, don't even worry about it. But what I'm saying to you is, if you're on other platforms and you're doing this, you don't own that platform. Even if you don't do it on that platform, you still are beholden to the expectation levels. There's people that you'll never meet at this level. There's people above you, you don't even know. And all it takes is, I don't know why you look that way. I don't even know why you look over there like that. See, the difference and the reason why with me, I take it so much seriously is because I understand. I've already made peace with it. I don't know how long I'm going to work for anybody. I've made peace with the fact that if I'm going to be able to tell my unapologetic truth, at least I'll sleep well at night. I felt bad for Ryan Clark because in hindsight, he feels like, because he's a dude of integrity, he feels like he played himself a little bit. Let's continue on. Let's play this other clip. I want to get y'all's comments. I'm going to get y'all comments. Let me see.
That you always preach accountability. Looking back over your 9 years at ESPN, 11, 12, is there anything you would do differently, or do you leave knowing that you would fully yourself, or, what are your thoughts? It's a good question. It depends on when you ask me. But if you ask me, like when I see people in public, like OGs and aunties and stuff, and they tell me they're proud of me, and they proud of like, they proud of like the way I represent the community. Yeah. I wouldn't change anything. Because that means the world to me. But when I go home, and this kid, put on a resume. It's like so accepted. And what was that? Like, I wouldn't change that. Never. You know what? All I want to do to be accepted.
No, we're going to stop it right there.
I'm telling you, that's a lot of dudes.
We're going to stop it right
There's
there.
a lot of dudes.
Let me tell you something.
That's why I'm trying to tell you.
This is important for y'all to hear.
Because I know
What Ryan Clark is going through right now is something that every prominent African American journalist, media member, opinion person in the media goes through. You are always trying to prove yourself. You are always under scrutiny. Even when you don't feel it. Even when it ain't said in front of you. Even when it's, you are always on the and what you're seeing from him is emotional, psychological fatigue. To carry that for 10 years, you don't understand the impact that it has on a person's emotional and mental health. Because he said, all I wanted to do was be accepted. We talk about Shedeur Sanders, and half the reason I go up on Shedeur Sanders is because of Kevin Stefanski, is because Kevin Stefanski made it a style work environment for a person that was supposed to be part of the team. He made him feel like he wasn't even welcome. He wasn't worthy of saying somebody's name. He wasn't worthy of a straight answer. He wasn't worthy. He didn't have the nerve to go back and get all kind of information to all these other people. Had to go back. And so, when Shedeur was in Cincinnati, and he's like, man, I almost had Brooks as young. He had to call in the middle of the night. That is a silent burden you carry. Can you imagine having to go to work? Can you imagine having to live in a place where you're the only one, and everything you say can and will be used against you in court of public opinion? I always say this situation. I always talk about people and how media members and people will say they're playing victim. Oh, well, Shedeur's fan base is on me. I said, but let me tell you something. When I make a comment about somebody, who do you think gets more scrutiny? When I said Baker Mayfield wasn't gonna get it done, how many people was in my timeline, my DMs, and when they mad at us, they don't call us clowns or say, no, they call us, you know what? So I don't play the, oh, well, look how we're being treated. No. Listen, you know how many times that happens? And I even mentioned it one time. How many times you see me crashing out on people? How many times you see me have
We're doing 2,500 reps.
We learn.
And then we're doing 4 sets of snatches. And then we got 3 sets of
What Jackie
curls.
Robinson had to do. Jackie Robinson was called every name in the book, death threats, and he had to go play with them folks and act like everything was fine. What you see him right here is what you see him right here is fool. That stuff wears on your soul. And you see it as a grown, successful man that played in the NFL. And all he said was, all I wanted to do was be accepted.
You know who won it? So yeah, like that, I wouldn't change. You know? If you ask me, I've been first, like, one day, for football, when all my friends get to do something, when they're super special together, yeah, that probably change it, you know? Probably work harder to, like, anyway, what I need to be doing.
No, let me tell you something, Ryan. No, no, bring it back. Y'all got to hear this.
And that's when I go back to social media, all these people, they're all the same. They're just trying to make money, trying to survive. We are speaking about the scripture. You know what I'm saying? How we can see the same. But for him to make us say, you can look at it differently, and we all feel the same. We don't have to be all the same feelings.
Probably work harder to, like, anyway, what I need to be doing. Like, building relationships with, like, bosses or executives. You know, because, like, it's just a relationship game.
No, they lied to you. Ain't no relationship game. No. See, what you conflating is what the NFL does with the media. In the NFL, if you're good enough, as long as you're good enough, they'll put up with a lot of stuff. Because your talent overrides everything, and it's a business. And when you're dealing with the media, you're not dealing with kind of better enough. See, you know that you're better than people. But the crazy part about it is when you wake up and you get in the industry, you slowly realize that these people that you thought were great aren't. You realize they don't do no research. You realize that they don't have solid points. You realize that they don't even really put no work in. But when you come along and you Roddy Clark, you got a bigger podcast, you have a voice in the community, you are a sharp individual, you're a family man, you ain't out there shooting, selling no drugs, womanizing, you ain't doing none of that. And you bringing it the way you bringing it unapologetic. My brother, they ain't never gonna accept that. That ain't never gonna work. That ain't never gonna work. Any what relationship? This is the fallacy. What relationship? There ain't no growth outings. There ain't no permanence. There ain't no mixture of this that you can go. That what you are is not going to be able to work. I'm just giving it to you. They didn't accept Bill Russell. Why do you think they would accept you? Bill Russell, all he wanted was equal treatment. All he wanted to say, hey, listen, man, I'm Bill Russell. I'm the first player coach. in the history of basketball in Boston. They treated Bill Russell like trash in Boston. It don't matter. And I know for Ryan Clark at this point, he's at a point where the vulnerability is there. He's hurt. He's hurt.
Yeah.
Because what he's saying is, I thought there was some people who was better than that. I thought my value was this. I thought we had something, our connection off the set. And the realization that he's hitting right now is, all them people that smiled in your face, all them people who said you was great, all them people, they still are they still playing you right now. No. Here's the thing. To be who you are, but every single dollar, every single resource you get, you take it, and you go build something else. Every dollar that you put anywhere else, you're supposed to be taking $1 and going back to the people. Working the best desk, getting the best cameras, getting the best support staff, getting you the best PR and editors around the clock. You take the energy that you gave to them folks for 10 years, and you take that energy and you go make it the greatest show you've been making. And the same competitive nature that you had when it came to being the best football player you could do, you take that to them when it comes to business.
Well,
They didn't value you. They put them out of business.
What happened?
They didn't value you. You make sure every time you turn that microphone on, you impact them. Now, somebody needs to talk to Ryan Clark right now. I need to see this because I live this every single day. And the only difference between me and Ryan Clark was the good Lord.
All right, guys, man, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I still have a little more to go, but I'm gonna stop the recording. All right, y'all have a wonderful day.
I prayed on my knees for years.